Okay, let's get analysis on this now from Samara McPhedran, who joins me from Nathan, Australia. Now, she is a violence prevention specialist at Griffith University. Welcome to you, Samara. So, I mean, as a violence prevention specialist, what was your first thought when you heard this story? Did anything leap out to you as that could have been done differently and maybe this wouldn't have happened?
That's a great question, and that really goes to the heart of some of the discussions we're having at the moment. At present, we have so little information. The police are at the very start of what's going to be a lengthy investigation. There's coronial and other legal processes to go through. The fact is, at this stage, we have no idea about what may have gone wrong, what types of things could have been done differently, or what might prevent events like this from occurring again in the future. And given that lack of information, it's quite concerning that our Prime Minister has already made announcements about legislative change. And we've seen this time and time again in Australia, where we have a violent incident involving firearms, and our politicians make very swift decisions about changes to gun laws. And we do this again and again, and we keep hoping for a different result. So it's unfortunate that our politicians have decided once more to take this approach, rather than doing things differently, getting all the facts and making a really well-informed decision.
Critics of gun ownership will say there is no such thing as a safe gun, that no matter how many regulations you put in place, if somebody wants to carry out a crime, they can just lie, they pretend, they say whatever it needs to get a gun, and then they can plot a crime. What do you think of these changes to the laws? Do they make Australia any safer?
No, unfortunately, I wish they did. But based on all of the evidence that we have available from around 30 years now of studying these problems, it's just unrealistic to expect that they'll have any real impact on public safety.
I mean, what do you think about that? Is it possible to have a safe gun regulation system in Australia? Is the only safe way to have no guns?
This is a really interesting question, because in 1996, at the time of the Port Arthur massacre, it was assumed, based on the information we had at that stage, that having less guns in the community would mean less gun crime. We've actually seen the opposite. Over a long period of time, we've seen increases in legal gun ownership, more people owning guns and more guns legally owned. At the same time, we've very surprisingly seen declines in firearm misuse. So firearm homicides, firearm suicides, for example, have continued to decline and they stay very low. So there's a lot more going on here than we often recognise.
Samara, good to speak to you. Samara McPhedran, my guest, a violence prevention specialist at Griffith University in Australia.